you are such a prim, proper. One of the nicest people. And you know what? I tell you what's in the back of my head. I was asking myself this a couple of days ago, all the way till tonight, before we start shooting, right?
Yeah.
Then look, Chris, are you going to be potty-mouthed? You know it's going to be quite hard because for a fact, if people like Glenn and FD watch this show, which I don't think they will, but anyway, they watch this show and see me having a chat with you, and my mouth's all potty, they're going to go, Chris, why have you disrespected Dr. Geraldine? That's how I think I can just
really?
hear it happening.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's your personality and it's no disrespect to anyone, right? So how is that disrespecting if you're being...
Well, see, that's you saying it, but for us, we feel like she doesn't deserve to be given the potty mouth treatment. But you know, but when I do that with any guest, right? When I do that with any guest, I don't do it on a whim. Yeah. I don't do it directed at the person. It's always in passing, or it's just really expressive, but it's just, you're just like, what?
So
I've got my school teacher seated with me and I cannot be potty.
Okay.
Unless you give me permission.
But I've never not given permission. That's the strangest thing, you see.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever asked. Whether you would be offended, whether you think you're being disrespected if I were to be potty mouth.
I think the last time you did and you were like, hey, don't mind, I was like, yeah, then be whatever, right? So
okay.
It's very strange. So yes, I did notice this pattern. I'm like, not sure why. So if you can figure out why, so that's something.
No, I think I've explained it. Is sometimes when you have people that you know are genuine and sincere and nice, and you are all that really, and certainly it's written all over you. It's written all over you. You're a kind person. People can open up to you, and that's the reason why you do what you do too. Yeah, okay. And that's absolutely.
I love what I do.
It's a match made in heaven, frankly speaking. Yeah, what you do and the person that you are, and people know that, And when you have a rapscallion like myself, and we feel like, okay, you know what? I think we should tap on the brakes and then take a step back. And just hold for a bit and Chris, just suck it up and don't be potty.
So maybe this is another side of you that, we don't see often enough.
Not true. Not true. I mean, I've done shows on stage, and believe you me, on stage we cannot be potty mouthed at all. So there is definitely a certain part where discipline plays quite a large role, isn't it? Yeah, I can be. Just that, the flavor of the Chris Hansen conversation. Welcome, everybody.
Ooh.
We've been rolling, I know. And you've been hearing us just go on and on and on. And I'm not being rude because you know why? Tonight, I have with me. Did I say tonight? I always say that, right? Now everyone knows I'm shooting at night. Not true. Sometimes I shoot in the day. Don't let me fool you. I have with me from the therapy room. You hear her, or sometimes for those of you who you probably retirees, got nothing better to do but to go on live Facebook and watch, and or you're illegally watching live Facebook while you're driving. You catch her all the time on Tuesday mornings on I shall not say which station because they're not paying me. Well, why should I say the station right now? Okay, she's on radio, and I will go as far as saying a station on SPH radio, and she gives great advice, and she's such a lovely person. You've been hearing us ramble on and on about how wonderful she is, and that is a fact. She's an absolutely lovely person. She is none other than Dr. Geraldine Tan.
And you are amazing yourself.
Wow. You see what I mean? How can I be potty mouthed with you?
This is not very encouraging. If
Why?
you say I'm authentic or I'm, genuine, then you cannot be genuine with me.
No, it's not that. And being respectful. I'm being respectful. I just think that he was really so nice, and sometimes, I mean, guy, maybe I'm old-fashioned in a sense. Can you believe it? I'm freaking old-fashioned. That's not a bad word. I am freaking old-fashioned.
You know what I feel like now? I feel like a princess now. Aww.
I'm glad I made you happy, though. And on that note, good friends of mine nowadays, they don't just have a radio show, they have podcasts too.
Yes.
Like, they don't want to miss out on the action. Their FOMOs, fear of missing out. You know who you are. And then they had this thing that this show of theirs, and now they put that other name next to it, and it's called Uncensored.
Okay.
I'm wondering about that because my show, which I have yet to release, already planned months ago, with all the sleeves all done, designs all good, all done, and it says
totally
raw. No, totally is Ingkaiwan.
Oh, okay.
For certain, I don't censor things. Okay, raw, unadulterated, uncensored. Yeah, and then they were talking about this. They were talking about the fact that Singapore was rated as, correct me if I'm wrong, I hope I'm not wrong, I think I'm right, 25th happiest nation.
Yeah.
In the world. In Asia, we're the happiest.
Okay.
Right? I think. Yep, we're the happiest. So they were talking about that. And it piqued my interest. And I don't want to do a copycat thing. But I want to ask you, you're Singaporean.
Yep.
Are you happy?
I am contented. I've thrown the word happy away a long time ago.
Okay.
So in the practice, right, a lot of people come and say, I'm not happy, I want to be happy. So what is happiness? If for centuries, right, the philosophers, the scientists cannot figure out what happiness is, I'm just a little ant. I cannot figure out their happiness for anyone. So I don't look for happiness, but I look for contentment, fulfillment, purpose. So if you ask me if I am contented, so I don't know what happy is, I'm going to throw that out. Contented, I am very contented. Do I have a purpose? I have a purpose. Am I fulfilled? I think there's more to do. So, I'm still going to strive for more.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you talk to a head doctor. Because right now my mind's spinning. Okay, let me just get this right. Interesting in the things you said. The definition of happiness.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm reading all this wrong. The definition of happiness is not clearly defined.
No. Do you know what happy is? If you know, let me know.
Because I'm happy. I mean, look, when you say contentment, I am contented. I feel fulfilled. My cup is full. And when you think about all these, right? Adjectives, descriptions, it all boils down to one word. Happy.
No.
Well,
it's our definition is how. So happiness is a concept. It's not quantifiable for the person.
Okay, so contentment is quantifiable.
Contentment, so it depends on what you define it as, right? So I'm contented with the work that I do. I'm contented with the amount of work that I do. I'm contented with the team that I'm working with. So there are things that I can specifically pull out, and it's not so very, it's not so like out there.
Right. So this happiness survey they did should be thrown out the window. I mean, Wiki, thank you very much for watching. This is the end of the show. I mean, what else is there to talk about? The survey was, hey, tell you, open the damn window, throw the damn thing out, man, because it doesn't make any damn sense.
Well, everybody is in the pursuit of happiness, lah. Let's put it this way. So it's just Jerry's perspective, Jerry's, thought about what happiness is. It's not a one size fit all, right? It's a personal opinion. But yes, everybody is in this pursuit of this happiness, gross national happiness and everything.
Gross national happiness? GNH. Okay, gross domestic happiness? GDH.
Maybe.
Okay, so happiness in your mind could be anything that you can quantify that is positive.
That is, so that's why it's difficult, it's like, so how do you define happiness? So how do they do the survey? How do they even draw the parameters? What's the metric?
Okay, let's say I like now what you said about contentment though. Let's say we use that word. Now let's take a look at the Danes. People from Denmark.
Yep.
Happiest people in the world. We can throw that one out the window too. But Jerry, they are very content.
Yes, they are.
So is that survey proper?
So is happiness, is it equated to contentment? Are we actually measuring the level of contentment in our lives?
Okay. Now you see people come to you to seek help. Is that the right word for me to say seek help? Yes?
Yes,
okay.
They do, yeah.
Okay. Primarily Singaporeans.
So I have a portfolio that is rather divided. So I have half Singaporeans and half foreigners.
Let's talk about the Singaporeans.
Sure.
Would you define that these people are, no, I cannot use that word anymore.
Are they happy?
Yes.
If they are happy, most of them come to me because they're not happy. Let's put it right out there. It's still seeking for answers, seeking for something that they need something to be fixed. And that's why they come forward.
Do you see a pattern? I mean, if you look across all of your local clients, they're unhappy. Generally, they come to you because they're unhappy. Is there a pattern that you can see that is perhaps endemic to being Singaporean in Singapore?
Perhaps what we can look at is the current trend now. So the current trend now would be that many of them don't know the direction. So another word that I had used was purpose, right? They don't know the direction that they are going forward. They know they have to work. They want a lot of money.
Okay, so then we're getting somewhere. Okay. So basically they're unhappy because they want direction, because there is a specific goal in mind.
Yes.
And a goal in mind is...
No goal. They have a goal. They want
They have a goal. They know what they want, but they don't know which direction to take, and that frustrates the heck out of them.
They only know that they want a lot of money. They want work-life balance. They're frustrated because they're not getting any of it, or they're not getting their whatever that they expect. And then you ask them, what do you really want to achieve in life? What is that end goal that you have visualized for yourself?
Right, and most of them say money.
Most of them say, I don't know.
Okay, so they don't know. They really don't know what
money.
There you go. So they do know what they want,
but they are not happy with whatever that they're doing.
So does it mean that is it safe to say that one of the preoccupations of people living and working here is about the pursuit of money and having loads of it?
Not really, because ultimately they say, actually, I want a simple life. And you go like, huh?
I want a lot of money, but I want a simple life.
I just need to ensure stability. So they say it in different ways, different forms, that they just want something comfortable. That's why I come back to this word, something comfortable. They say, I want a lot of money. I say, you want a lot of money for what? You want a lot of money? Oh, I want a lot of money so that my life is stable. I said, are you living very badly now? No. Are you, not able to afford whatever that you want? No. And I can afford more. I don't need to worry about luxury because the clientele that comes to me in private centers, right? And then I go like, oh, okay, then so what is the more that you're looking at? Then suddenly they get thrown off balance and say, I don't know. I say, but what actually do you have in mind, like, for your future? I don't know.
Okay, could we boil this down to also perhaps a contributing factor? Could be that we are all products of a system where, well, at least people like me, maybe you, the older lot lah, not so much the real young ones today, like our kids in school, because things are changing.
Yes.
In the education system.
Yep.
But we've always been products of, you got to go out there. It's all about the academics. It's all about getting the grades. And if you don't get the grades, you're not going to end up having a good job, and you will not be able to have 5 C's in life, And then as the generations progressed, you've got another set of people who say who hear the same thing, know that, academics are important, I got to study real hard, get my degree, otherwise I will not be able to get my 5 C's. But then again, I don't really care about the 5 C's, but I know I have to get those 5 C's because that's what has been drummed into me. But deep down inside, that's not so important, but I know I have to get it, and then they get muddled.
True. So there is that group that have lost their way.
But would it be, am I right to say, or could it be that it's a generational thing? Because you have people like, from my generation, are you an X-Gener? I'm an X-Gener.
I don't know what X exactly is.
I don't believe this. Oh boy. The X-Geners are the coolest generation ever. Okay, now. the X-Geners are the guys that wear t-shirts like this, man. Okay. And we're the ones who were the 80s children. Born in the 70s, rocked the 80s, and partied the 90s. Okay. And then, but all while we're doing all that, working our butts off, towards, I know what you're going to say, towards success. Then again, Chris, what is the definition of success? Yeah, so this is going to be driving me up the wall now. Success as in, generally accepted, credit card, car, condo, cash, and God, what's the other one? Yeah, basically reaching a certain level in life where you're considered financially successful, where you have arrived in life, where you are known someone, you become part of the elite, So the X generation, in my mind, are made up of people like that, But one thing about that generation, besides being good looking and talented, we were darn hardworking. Yeah. We had ambition. We were resilient. And we were indefatigable lot. Indefatigable. Determined. Don't die one. In case you're blur, okay? So a whole determined lot of people. Then after that, you've got the strawberries.
I don't know why you suddenly laugh like that.
Because a lot of people are going to throw eggs at me. Strawberries. The strawberry generation. The snowflakes. The millennials. Okay. And then I realized this. Why? Because I've had people who had to work with me, right? And they get younger and younger and younger and younger. And then you have this, I had this period in life where there are a bunch of people, these people, the younger ones, they came up to me, and so many of them said, but Chris, I'd rather work for an NGO. Okay. You a tree hugger? Are you a tree hugger? And they want to do, I want to do good. I want to do things for the community. I said, admirable, then go ahead and do it. Yep. Yeah, but then again, I want to make money. I mean, it's like, opportunity costs. You can't have your cake and eat it all,
Yeah.
But they're insistent about that.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're right. I mean, you're not. I mean, I don't know whether you're right, but I can kind of relate to what you just said, because to me, there is a whole bunch of people who are very confused.
Yeah, they're very confused.
Yeah, and in my mind, it is that generation of people. Then you've got the current bunch of guys. I must say the Gen Zs are pretty impressive. You got them saying that they know what they want, but they're not as hot. That's not a bad thing. Not as hot as, say, their folks, who are people like me, my generation.
Okay.
Right? And they will say that I want something future-proof. I'm not going to go into something that's not future-proof. I mean, my boy is turning 14.
Yeah.
And of course, I ask him, have you toyed around with what you want to do when you grow up? Not really, but I do know what I shouldn't be doing. I said, okay, and what shouldn't you be doing? And I will not mention anything. I'm not going to slime these industries or anything like that. And I asked him, I'm kind of surprised at some of the industries he mentioned. It's kind of, really? Why not? They're not future-proof, Daddy. I said, why not? AI. Really? Yeah. And you guys actually discuss this amongst yourselves? Yes. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's kind of astute, So there's something about these guys. So I call that the seed of the X generation.
Okay.
We may have taught them well.
I think it's also because we work very hard, and they have the ability to now look for or seek for what fulfills them. So that's the other thing. Self-fulfillment, right? A Maslow hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
And to chase that, we need to have a stable foundation.
When you say stable foundation, what do you mean? Definition of foundation.
So the foundation of all the basic needs. So we've given them all the basic needs.
Okay.
We've not only given them the basic needs, but we've also now focused on emotional needs, social needs. And they've got, if we taught them already, that these are important. So their foundation is quite solid for most of us who push ourselves. You've described it beautifully. And so now they have attained all these. They're now right at the top. So they can say, oh, Mommy, Daddy, what do I really want? I'm thinking about it. And because we're not fighting for survival anymore, we as parents are able to say, okay, what would you like to do? Go do it. Mom and Dad will support you. And how you've spoken to your son, I resonate with that, because this is what I've got two teens, and both of them are also thinking and contemplating, what they want to do, and they're comfortable enough to say, Mom and Dad will support anything, and I don't need to worry about this foundation. I've got it. Now I will go and do what makes me feel most comfortable, not having to chase after all the little things.
Right. Okay, I mean, I can agree with you there, but
did I throw you off balance again?
A little bit. I mean, basically whatever you said, I do agree, simply because the Gen Zs, they're pretty awesome. And I think they really know what's needed to get by and to get on.
But I guess the strawberry generation that you were talking about, the confused bunch, is the bunch that I do see that lack that purpose, that lack. So they are very confused because I need to seem to find that foundation. Right. I'm not sure. I need to build up that nest, that financial nest. Yep. And then they go. So when we ask them, do you have that actually quite okay? So why are you chasing don't know? So that's why the don't know comes in, you see.
Yeah, but you see, there's also the other side of the coin. These people are now in their 30s. Yeah. Some, I think some of them, I mean, it's fair to say, also in early 40s. Yeah. Those are the people that's the tail end of the X generation. Yeah. And these lot are in higher executive positions. They're in the positions of leadership. Yeah. And some and that leadership has taken a sort of a different turn from what I've heard from quite a number of people, people who are about my generation of people, that is, and answering to those younger than them.
Okay.
It's reached a stage where it doesn't matter, you know, well, I'm generalizing this, but I shouldn't. But I think that there is some amount of truth that the cohesiveness in an organization seemed to be more important than revenue generation. Than someone who can't play with others well, not because he is nasty, but because he is more dynamic. Let's take that as an example. Okay. Older, more dynamic, more experienced, probably left the workforce for a bit, came back. Let's take that as a scenario. And then the rest of the people there have known each other since they got on board. They're all the same generation, including their leader in management.
Okay.
This guy comes in, and then or this person comes in, but it's productive. Yeah, brings in the moolah for the business. Yeah, and then the rest are unhappy about it, and then of course usual interrelational politics come into play. Then after which they start to whinge and whine, and stir the pot a little bit with the boss, right? To the boss, and then this person gets into a little bit of trouble. So it just seemed that sometimes, and this is not the first I've heard, this cohesion, this need for cohesiveness, clicky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems to be more of a priority than revenue generation, or someone who's capable of really bringing home what's more important in a business. So that's just an example. What I'm saying here is that it's everyone's now got to toe their line.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. In terms of I think you touch on something very different. I think you touch on, this when we are in that community, how we operate as a community.
Right.
And when something comes in that we think is a little bit alien, right? Then our behavior is, the first behavior is reject.
Okay.
So the person that is being rejected, so this community, I don't like you, so already not feeling very happy. The other person wants to assimilate, cannot assimilate,
right? And
then they are also
no. This person can assimilate. This person is very, very pliable.
Okay.
EQ wise.
But they don't want to accept, you see.
They don't want to accept, but this person maybe has done nothing wrong.
Understand.
Just that he's different.
Most of the time it's like that. So.
And if this person puts in more effort, for example, puts in more effort, is more experienced, has got the ability to get things really done better than most.
Yep.
Yeah.
But because of this group, they do not want to accept, right? So they reject.
Okay, so you're saying to me that this cannot be a generational thing.
It's not.
It's just but more often than not today, that group of people, which you're now boiling it down to group psychology, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Group dynamics.
the psychology behind that. Yeah. However, if you're boiling it down to that, it just so happens then that all of them are from the same generation, and therefore it may seem that these guys, it may seem that it's a generational issue or difference.
It can be. So it can be that they are the same generation. So how you described it is the same generation. So what happens in a group is we look for similarity. We look for things that can help us to gel together. Yeah. So that when we stay together, we've got a lot of things that we can share and we can support each other. So we don't want any other aliens to.
But Jerry, that's an ideal world, you know.
Yeah.
If we all see how that we can come together and meet halfway. Let's find out whether there's any similarities, so that we can find some relatability, some shred of relatability. That's an ideal world.
It's group dynamics. So when the other person comes in, unless the group puts in effort to try and find a similarity with the other person, this person will always stay on the peripheral. So we see that in the self-initiated expatriates also, where they come and then they come into an office, and you have mostly maybe Singaporeans or mostly Asians, and then you have somebody else coming in. It's like invasion. So until this group makes the effort to find some similarities, to be curious, to learn about that person, this person will not, no matter how nice the person is, will still be an outsider and will feel like an outsider. They can be very cordial to each other, but you still can see that there is some difference there. Okay.
Okay, now that we're on that topic, you're basically saying that, in this example you gave, so this is how xenophobia comes about.
In a way. And that suddenly it just pops into mind. I think I was reading one of your posts, and one of your posts was
here we go
about people trying to erase your tattoo.
Yeah.
Right, and
shucks.
And still having that mindset that.
Not you say that full up my sleeves, man.
You know why I usually wear long sleeves, but for you today I didn't wear long sleeves. I was like, okay, I'll match you.
All right. Thank you for that.
I don't have tattoos, but
you should, man. Come on, let's go get one.
No, well, I'll explain a little bit more. But that whole fear. So sometimes people fear different, and your tattoos are like, oh my God, it's different, and therefore, they start to put you on the sideline, like, okay, you're different, you're we cannot come too close to you. I can talk to you cordially, but you're not coming into my space. Thank you very much. So so fear, right? And fear breeds distrust. So in a relationship, you need trust. But if you are fearful of the person, how can you trust the person, right?
It doesn't matter what you say, Jerry. At the end of the day, they're still stereotyping. Come on. I mean, look, they don't have. The point is, don't judge so too easily, right? It just can't be about, so if that's the case, Chris, don't let people fear you. Let me tell you why I'm so fed up, okay?
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to go for it, man. I think, this is free therapy, not bad, let me tell you why I'm so I'm going to say pissed about all this. Everything that I am is stereotyped. Everything. Okay? I'm telling you.
Okay, go for it.
I'm 53 years old, nothing to hide. I'm not a spring chicken, yeah? So it's not as if, but Chris, you've already lived like 20 plus years of your life. We can't really come to judgments like that, I can, because I'm not a spring chicken, yeah? So it's safe for me to say this. On a few counts. 1, I'm Eurasian.
Okay.
And I'm proud to be one, huh? You all don't judge me now, okay? I'm proud to be one, and I still am, yeah? And as I mentioned earlier, right? Remember before I don't know whether we were rolling then or not, but I mentioned to you about my other guest I had.
Yes.
and we were talking about our shared ethnicity. Yeah.
Yep.
And the stereotypes from there alone is pretty remarkable.
Okay.
You can work your ass off, but people could still think that you are, you Asians, they really can't amount to much when they do business and stuff. Or no, these guys are better at band boy lah, can sing lah, they are good for these kind of things. They know the party lah, these know the party. That's one stereotype. The other one is, look at my size. I tell you a joke, yeah. A couple of years ago, I was down the gym, and I came down, and I was downstairs to where the ATM was located, and I was in the queue.
Okay.
And there was this poor lady. I wasn't angry with her. Don't get me wrong. I was not upset. As a matter of fact, I was laughing my head off. I was standing behind her in the queue, and this little old lady was in front, and she was using the machine. So I was just standing in line, just waiting for it to be done. There's no one else besides me. Yeah. And when she got the money out, she turned around. She was putting her money back into her purse, and she looked up. She saw me, and she went, ah! And I went, ah! What did I do? And I went, Auntie, what? Auntie, why? What did I do? I really thought, what did I do? No lah, you're very big. I said, I'm not going to rob you. Don't worry. You're very big. You very big. Oh my goodness.
Oh dear.
I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I told her, I'm so sorry about laughing. She was laughing too after that. But that was a nice thing, actually. It wasn't so bad, But people always have this thing when they see a big guy. It's either you're fat and stupid, or fat, stupid, lazy, or you are a bully. And when the little pipsqueaks, you always annoy you, right? Actually, that's bullying as far as I'm concerned. And they continually egg you on.
Yeah.
And then you retaliate. You're the one in trouble because you know why? Because you're the bigger one.
Oh.
Okay. And then let's go there. Smoking. I'm a smoker.
Okay.
I'm not encouraging it. Don't get me in trouble. I'm just saying this is who I am. I'm a smoker. Okay? And my goodness, I know lah, yellow box lah, this, that lah. But I can't stand. People seem to think it is within their values to walk in front of you, stop, glare, even when they have the mask on. I say, my God, you really don't want to breathe, huh? And they do that in full view of you. Or the glare they give you, looks could kill. I say, dude, I'm not doing it illegally.
Yeah.
I'm far from you. Yeah. And you go and you walk past and you do this, and I say, do you have leprosy? Is your nose gonna drop off? It makes people entitled to insult you, disrespect you, and that's the third stereotype. The next stereotype.
Oh, there's quite a lot.
Yeah. To be fair, there'll be those who admire me, and people like me. I sing, and I must say I sing pretty well. And but then again, I get this. These people sing only what.
Oh wow!
And then, when you go out there and you're actually doing shows on stage, or you're hosting and singing, and I tell you, this happens. It's prevalent, in the entertainment world. Pay you peanuts because that's all you do. Yeah. Of course, I don't stand for that.
Yeah.
And I say, you can't pay me, can't afford me, I won't do it. Because I know I'm good at what I do. That's all. Then you hear entertainers getting stereotyped, saying this back to you. Real talk. If I don't take it, Chris, they will never call me back, and then I get no jobs at all. I'm
feeling really sad. Oh
okay.
My gosh.
Yeah, and then after that, worse. It gets worse. We need Pan-Asians.
Okay.
You got talent, but you're not Pan-Asian. Hang on, got some more. Ink. It is disgusting for anyone to do this to anyone without your permission, to take your picture and erase off the ink of your picture. It is disgusting to take someone's picture and blow up my face to kingdom come so that my arm cannot be seen in a periodical article. But these people came to me to ask me to platform speak, to feature me, because I've got value. Because there are things that I can give value to people and to their respective audiences. But you do this to me. So, and that's not just about me. People with ink get ostracized ever so often. I'm going to say this. I love these guys. War Pigs, the Harley Boys. I tell you, they're brilliant people. They do charity work. Most of them are inked and they're on big Harleys. But they are some of the kindest people on the planet.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There are many of them.
Yeah. So that's why, you see, I had to stop you there, Jerry, just now, because no matter what you tell me, man, people can be intimidated and all that. I say, you know what? Very simple. Don't judge.
But people will judge, and I
know that.
And I will tell my story. You tell your story about the ink, right?
Yep.
So I knew you had this pose, so that's why today I didn't wear my sleeves. And I was like, you know, I do want to share this because growing up, so my skin color is a bit olive, and it's a little bit tan. And growing up, the girls that were most popular were the fair porcelain skin.
Panadols.
Not quite Panadol, you know, porcelain skin. So, and so that's why, you know, I hate the sun. I don't go out into the sun.
Okay.
That's why I don't put ink, because I want that porcelain look.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have your prejudice. I felt very ostracized in a way, because so you have the big size. Now let me show. So I talked about the porcelain skin, the size. I'm shocked. And that becomes a problem everywhere. You know, I wanted to be like a SQ girl, Singapore girl.
Yeah.
I cannot lah. There was no way I would pass any test because of my height. So people look at this, you know, short girl, and when I started my career, you know, who knew about psychologist? You know, even my parents didn't know what psychology was like 20 over years ago. And I insisted I wanted to do psychology, you know, and I wanted to do it since I was in secondary school. So I already knew what I wanted to do, but nobody else knew what it was at that time.
Right.
So people only started to know about Freud and all the psychoanalysts, and they were all old men with beard. So when I first went out, when people came in looking for a psychologist, they stared at me and went, you can be psychologist. I was like, how does a psychologist look like? do I have to have white hair and be a man so that I can be a psychologist? So there's this prejudice, like you say, right? And it was frustrating, because then I learned, you know, early on, please don't wear short skirts. And you know, clothes that you bend can see everything.
Cover up,
Yeah, so we wear muted colors. We, you know, dress decently. Otherwise, the guys, and we do couple counseling, and we go like, the guys are staring at your legs instead of like, excuse me, what's wrong with you? Concentrate on our conversation. If not, I'm going to refer you to another person. It is frustrating when people judge. But I'm going to say this, and I often say this. Sadness is a choice. So you and I can continue to be frustrated and upset about people judging, but we know people are going to judge. So sadness becomes a choice. Happiness actually requires a lot of effort, and people don't realize that. So with all that contentment, fulfillment, purpose, let's come back to happiness, because people are more comfortable with the word happiness. So I'm going to put it out there that happiness is effort and sadness is a choice. Just original.
Wow. Sadness is a choice, happiness is effort. But
how does that sit with you?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. It does. It does. Sadness is a choice. You choose whether you want to be sad, but you cannot choose to be happy, because there's no such thing. So, this is where I'm going to... Chris, you're screwed. Because Dr. Jerry says there's no such thing called happiness. But sadness is a choice, though. So what's the definition of sadness?
Sadness is things that break you down.
That was fast. You came out like that. Happiness is so hard to define happiness, but sadness is wow, no hesitation, man. Whoa, wow.
Because I see it all the time, Chris. I see it in my center.
You don't see happiness in your center? Okay, I know you're gonna say, Chris, if they're happy, what the hell do they come to see me?
I see hope.
Okay, wait. Do happy people come to see you?
They wow.
Now I've unbalanced you.
Not really, but
okay.
It is interesting. I wish that more contented people come and do check-ins with me.
More contented people. Here we go. She's not using the word happy. She is not using the word happy. More contented people come and see. And why would... You say you wish that, right?
Yes.
Why would contented people come see you?
So I'm going to put it this way. If you're contented with your bodies, would you stop going to the gym?
No.
Yeah.
Because it's a choice. You'll be sad.
Yeah.
See, look at me. Look at my body now. I'm sad. A year ago, I was happy. But now I'm sad. I'm sad because I made a choice. I stopped going to the gym for a year. I'm back in the gym though.
Okay.
Am I happy now? No. Why? Look at my body. I'm so sad.
You're working in happiness needs a lot of effort.
Yeah, but I've not become contented yet. Okay? Well, okay, that really makes sense now. But again, contented people are content with their lives. Yeah, and you're saying to me, it's like going to the gym. You've got looking great and all that. It doesn't mean you stop going.
Yep.
Because you got to keep going in order for you to continue being contented. So, along the same vein, you're saying that people, when they're already contented, should come to see someone like you to continue being contented.
Working on it. So if we liken, mental health to physical health. Physical health, we work so hard for it, right? We work out, we eat well. Same thing with mental health. We need to continue to work on it. It is work in progress, work in process. And, so when I talk about the contented people coming to do their check-ins, I just interesting because I just had a young lad who comes in every 6 months to check in with me. And even today when I asked him, right, hey, would you like to terminate sessions,
right,
or would you like to continue, because you're doing really, really well. He thought about it and he went, no, I think let's continue every 6 months. I think think, and he parked it and he positioned when he wanted it, and I was like, okay, yeah, let's.
So it's like going back for MRI every year to make sure your nerves are still okay.
It's going for your dental checkup every 6 months, and making sure that there's no cavity.
Yeah,
or,
but Jerry, this is different. I mean, this is where I'm going to ask. Okay, this is where I'm going to prove I'm old-fashioned again. Mental health. I know that there's been a lot going on. Good things, good things, and I'm glad for it. There's more attention towards the need for mental health, and trying to eradicate this supposed taboo people have. Stereotyping it, and you see, this is where I struggle with that. Okay, I will speak as, I will just say, put it plainly.
Freely.
I will put it, oh boy, put it plain. I'm being psychoanalyzed, I really am. I'll put it plainly. What would a perception be of people thinking that, I don't know whether or not I need any help, for me mentally. I don't know whether I need any help. I don't know whether I need any help for me emotionally as well, for example. Okay. And what comes to mind? Well, stigma is one.
Yeah.
It will never go away. It will always be there, because if it's been 100 years of stigma, it's going to take 200 years for that stigma to go away.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think it was quite fair for me to say that. On top of that, it would also be, how am I going to afford this? Because people don't know what the fee would be like. People don't. People can more or less gauge a neighborhood GP.
Yep.
Because they're used to that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
They can gauge what a specialist in certain fields would charge, but they cannot, because they don't do this often. And people don't talk about it. They don't know how much they have to set aside for sessions with someone like you, for example. I mean, hell, I really don't know. I don't. Yeah. And then there's also this thing about, it's like walking past someplace, and then I want to go in there, but I don't know what I should. And I walk past again, I want to go in there, but I don't know what I should. And I walk past again, because you don't want people to see you walking into a place that has, that will treat that. Oh, that means this guy he needs a head shrink. He has an issue.
Yes.
And then you're worried about what people might think of you, right? I mean, stigma, sure. But even to that extent, right? Me, for example, if I were to come to your clinic, I would feel okay, because I would come in to say, hi, how are you? But I can't imagine me going in and say, hey, I need help. I can't imagine doing that. You know what I mean? It's going to be this brakes that you just step on. I think people are like that. I'm like that. And I don't know whether I need help or not anyway. I'm not saying I've you see, I'm not saying I have issues. So it is really, I think everyone's like this.
So that's one thing that I want to advocate, right? That people don't need to have issues to come forward to chat with us. And that's where I want to bring the nation, or I want to bring the world. It's a very big, sort of a dream that I have.
Okay.
But it's, again, I love to dream big. Yeah. But, and I want to bring the mental health, the idea of mental health to more people. That's why since the beginning of my career, I'm actually very afraid. So nowadays the lights are not so bright, but in the past the lights are super bright. And many people don't realize that, but I actually have a fear of speaking.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Fear of speaking on stage, speaking with people. In therapy session, it's fine. I'm in my space. I'm in a safe zone. But when I'm on stage, when I'm doing presentation, when I'm even like things like this, my hands are sweaty. I'm not afraid to say. There is a lot of fear, but it's because of the love for the
passion for it,
the feel and the work, right? That I say more people needs to come forward. Therefore, I step forward and do so many different sort of things and so much of that media work. Yeah. So, bringing it to everyone to let them know that the psychologist is not scary. We're actually very nice people. The field of psychology is not as alien as we think it is.
Okay.
And people don't need to fear it, so they can come forward.
Right.
Now, having them come forward for not just issues. Yeah, so there are other colleagues out there that call it differently. Coaching, wellness, and so they try to call it differently. But coaches and so wellness coach and career coach, their training is slightly different also.
Sure.
But sometimes in order to bridge that, the fear, they call it differently. And I've seen some colleagues do that. Yeah, but let's call a spade a spade. Psychology is psychology. And really, it's not scary at all.
Yeah, you're right. They're calling it wellness these days, including the aesthetic specialists and all their wellness clinic. Oh, goodness sake. But I tell you what, we do a 1-for-1 barter. Okay, I don't believe we're going to say this on camera, but okay, let's give it a shot, man. I don't mind. Let's go and figure this out. I can't see you.
Oh, sorry. Ethics, I cannot see you.
Huh?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we don't see our friends, we don't see our relatives.
Okay, that's it. Open the window again, man. Throw that one out too. See lah. So
usually what we do is when relatives or friends come, they see my team. They don't see me.
Okay. But what happens if the person's not comfortable with anyone else?
It's not about just comfort with one person.
Right.
They do need to be comfortable with the therapist.
Right.
But the therapist is also human. So there's a lot of emotional investment and
Yes, just like a doctor can't treat his own family members, right? Yeah. I understand that. But but as far as this is concerned, I mean, I wouldn't want to speak to someone I don't know Though some people would prefer that. Some people are crazy, Some people in the sales field, for example. I don't want to sell people I know. So why? I don't want. I'd rather sell people I don't know. I'm sorry, but I just cannot understand that concept. I'm unable to understand that concept, that there's no strings attached. But you have... Okay, even if you sell someone something and that person is cold, wouldn't you want to have the opportunity to build a friendship or a nice relationship with that person?
Yep.
But many of these people go, no, I don't want. It's just selling. That's it. And I can never understand that. So I'm that kind of guy.
Yep.
I'd rather see someone I know than see someone I don't. Okay, so this is another issue. This is another block. But anyway, that's not the point. I do a 1-for-1 barter with you. Okay, so that moving forward, you no longer have fear on stage. Fear behind the camera. Because I'm also a coach, you see.
Yes, we know that.
So we can do 1-for-1 barter. How you know? You haven't covered my classes.
Your reputation.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, anyway, I'm always open. Doors are also always open. Don't worry. Don't walk past, go by, and then walk past and don't come in. Must come in. Don't do a me. But anyway, that's great. I mean, I maybe I should just give it a shot and see one of your guys in your team, and have a chat. Why not? I think I need help. Don't you think so? I look like a bit loco, right? Yeah, I mean, okay. That's not fair. Don't take me seriously. Okay, so right now, coming back to the happiness.
Happiness is effort.
Oh gosh. Do you think, in general, I mean, we just take happiness as what it is generally, okay?
Yeah.
Do you think Singaporeans are happy?
They're not contented. They're not contented with many things. They can be richer, the people can be nicer, the ERP can be cheaper or not have ERP.
COE can be past 100 grand and much more now.
Yeah, basically, if you hear what they're saying or you listen to conversations, right, they're complaining all the time. So they're very, they're a very discontented bunch, I would say.
Okay, how about if I change it this way? So it's interesting, this word is just going to drive me nuts the whole night. Contentment, discontentment is also the discontentment people have, that we may see it as entitlement. The entitled society. And I did have a chat with you briefly, and then I saw your last answer to me and I kept quiet about it. I was complaining to you about the incidences that Kai, you better get ready to roll that up on screen. The incidences that occurred at the Geylang Serai Bazaar.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that's going to come on screen so you guys can take a look-see. That incident, the man gets flack for saying Geylang Bazaar tables should be reserved for Muslims who are doing the iftar, breaking their fast. And he got flack, right? And there were a bunch of people who commented in that particular article, on that post for that article from Mothership, and who really told him that, if you want to come earlier, this is open to everybody, okay? I swear. And to me, it's like, hey guys, first of all, it's Ramadan.
Yeah.
Okay, can we empathize that they are fasting for a month from 7 to 7?
Yep.
Right? With no water, and they're working, and the Geylang Serai Bazaar was created, organized for them.
Yep, exactly.
We have to count ourselves fortunate that we're able to celebrate that with them. So just give way. Don't be so discontented, and then turn it around and virtue signal and say that, you come earlier lah. Why must they make it mandatory just for you Muslims? And I had to put my comment in. I actually was being fair. I said exactly what I just said just now.
Yep.
This is built for them. Just give way. And this person came in and said, Christians open up to everybody. We're not going to say, it's mandatory, this is only made for Christians. I said, dude, this is not an apple for apple comparison anymore. And he kept going on. And it was, honestly, I'm not Muslim, I'm Catholic, you're Catholic, and to me, I felt for them. And this poor guy who wrote, and he actually ended the article by saying that, sorry if my English not so good, I'm only got Sec 3 education, and people mocked him for that.
Oh no!
People mocked him for that, And when I read this, how can we be happy? Because you know why? Because I'm unhappy. I see this happening in community, I can't stand it, right? And then there's some more incidences. That poor girl, a Muslim girl, 20 years old, on board an MRT train. Come on, it's time to break fast. It is obligatory for them to at least bite something. Have a drink of water, have something to just chew and swallow before they can have a proper meal, right? And she tried to observe and persevere her own faith, so she took a bite off a bar.
Yeah.
And then she put it back in a bag, and then she got admonished by this other lady, and of course she used the letter of the law against her. You're not supposed to eat and drink on the train. You are being very what's the word for it? Please be considerate. I mean, and then when she got off the train station, she went to the station master, and he gave me more faith in humanity after that, because she asked him, I can't do that, and he said, it's okay, and he smiled. She wrote that down. He smiled. Just don't leave the wrapper anywhere. It's about empathy. At least when he said that, I felt, oh my God. But it was disappointing. The sheer ignorance. This is not entitlement anymore. This is virtue signaling, right? And then the other guy, the other dude, with a stroller, with a baby inside, can't get into the lift because all the able-bodied people are going in. It's the same thing as it happens. Things happen with me when my mom's in a wheelchair. So when we go for mass, right, in church, same thing. People able-bodied rush for the lift, and the people with the wheelchairs have to wait. And they stand there and they look at you, or sometimes look past you as if you're invisible, and then the lift doors close. You know, and I go, why? I'm not entitled. But you know what these people would say? Just because of this, you think you're entitled? That's warped. How can we say then that we are content?
They're very, I will use the word empty.
So many people so empty. You should read, Jerry, read the comments. Read the umpteen comments that of different people who just
like to research comments.
But you have a pulse of how things are like.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. But it pains us when we read such comments because there's this lack of tolerance.
Yes, that is the word. Everybody don't understand the word tolerance.
Two words, tolerance and compassion. You know, if you're tolerant, you will hold back a little bit and look at the situation before jumping in and commenting. Yeah, but when people don't do that, they shoot their mouths off. And normally when they shoot their mouths off, they are not compassionate because they have no empathy. They cannot, we call it theory of mind, to look from the other person's point of view.
Simple lah, Jerry, it's called heartless lah.
I wanted to use like such a...
Don't need lah, go around. Don't come and don't tell me, hey, heartless what's the meaning of heartless? Like happiness, don't please, heartless is heartless. Don't have, empty. You're right, empty.
Empty.
Heartless.
Empty.
Devoid of feeling. Devoid of the ability to be sensitive. You know, I'm telling you, this episode, I'm going to get flamed. I'm going to get flamed.
You know.
Yeah, I'll be flamed. There will be people say, oh, Chris, you're talking out of your, you know, usually I don't care. I won't hold my words back. I look at you, I cannot say a potty word. Yeah.
What?
No expletives, Chris. No expletives, please. Okay. So, you know, and frankly, I really don't care. They can say whatever the hell they want to say. But this what makes me unhappy, frankly. You know, and if you talk about this, to me, right, I think it's societal. I think it's become endemic in society. Why? Because even on the roads you drive, and you know when you put on a light indicator, you want to filter left, you want to filter right. That guy on either side, it doesn't matter who, you don't know these two complete strangers who are absolute assholes, and they're just going to speed up, and they're not going to let you go. And it happens every day, 8 out of 10 times in a day, right? So what does it tell you? Are we happy? No. Are we content? Or is everyone just empty?
Very unfulfilled people. And they need to fill their bank with a lot of behaviors like that. Because if not, their life has no color.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're fulfilled, your life is full of color. Your life is not just black and white. You know, but when you're empty, then your life is either black or white.
So what kind of advice would you give people like this? I call them assholes. What kind of advice would you give people like that? You know, who cannot find fulfillment, who just think about themselves. To me, I call they're self-entitled, they're heartless, they're discompassionate, and they ought to be slapped left, right, and center all the time. So that somebody has to do that and wake them up, you know. So, okay, that's me. That's just me talking. I'm not speaking on behalf of Jerry. She is a pro here. So I'm going to ask a professional.
No.
What would you say to these sort of people? How can they wake up?
I would wear the psychologist hat. These people have no insight. You get angry with them, you're going to make yourself upset. What's the point?
Oh, come on, don't tell me for 1 second it doesn't upset you if you're on the road, for example. Yeah.
It does. But remember, sadness is a choice.
Oh gosh, are we doing that? Are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? Oh boy. Okay, people, I know some of you would agree with me for sure, right?
Yeah.
About the driving bit, especially the driving bit. Sadness, being angry is a choice. Don't get angry, okay?
I'm not saying don't feel sadness. Of course you feel. Of course you have your emotions.
Yeah, but by doing this, it's called repressing it, isn't it?
But by getting as angry as them, by doing what they are doing, aren't you just stooping to that?
No. I won't do like what they're doing. I won't, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't like people give they indicate you want to go, and I give them way. I don't do that. They'll make me a hypocrite.
Sure.
I get angry. Yes.
Yeah.
I get really angry. I do. Do I get out there and hit someone? Of course not. I would be in prison right now. You wouldn't even be here. I wouldn't be here. There won't be no studio. Yeah, there'll be no show. Yeah, but I'm angry, sure, and I know that if I hold it back, and I don't curse and swear, and I don't get angry about it, don't talk about it, I don't get pissed about it, I'm just repressing.
Yes. So
and that's going to hurt me. I'm going to get high blood pressure, I'm going to get a stroke and die. So that's also another thing, isn't it? So okay, don't talk about that. That's not important. These people who have no fulfillment, right? No empathy.
We can't do anything about them until they have insight. But we can treat them with the respect that you've shown throughout the session with me. Oh, session. You're having a session with me.
See, in the end, I turned out to really be a psychoanalyst the whole time. Oh my goodness. Clever. This one free of charge one. Okay, so.
But really, they need our love. They need our respect.
But
of course, we can get angry with them. We feel the anger, but I'm not asking you to be a saint. I'm no saint myself. I get angry. I also can scold people.
I just want to have the fleas of 1,000 camels infest their hairs and their armpits. That's the size of it. I mean, you itch and scratch and itch and scratch and itch and scratch, and keep scratching your underarms forever. Yeah. I mean, honestly, man. I mean, I marvel at you, for saying that. It's like a priest saying, slap you one side, give him the other side, and then give him the other side again, and then give him the other side,
But it takes a lot of effort. I do agree that we are very, we can get angry, and I do get very, very angry, right? But there's no point getting angry with them, and then you are left with that bitter taste in your mouth. Worth it or not, I don't think it is worth it. I can go and complain to my friend, you know what happened, and I can download, and then I go like, okay lah, you're not in my life. What do you want to do with your life? You do with you. What do you want to do with your life?
Actually, honestly speaking, if we don't want to therapize them, and if I want to therapize me about this, I tell you how I do it, okay?
Okay.
Classic. Besides thinking, having a little fantasy in your head, and this guy makes you really mad because that guy's completely off, right? And I go, besides the fleas from 1,000 camels on the armpits, may you have flatulence that lasts for 2 hours, and you're just letting go gas or every minute, every second, every minute for 2 hours, okay, until you realize that you have no more anus.
You have permission to rent. It's
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I draw these little, images and funny scenarios in my head, and then I start laughing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it doesn't affect your life. This person doesn't come into your life, and you're not responsible for his
Sure. But when I was the reason why I raised all this is to come to a point.
Yeah.
That in my mind, there's so many people behaving like this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bloody say it, and I don't care anymore about this word contentment. There's so many people. I'm not even going to say unfulfilled, damn it. They're just bloody not happy. Okay? You know what I mean? Yeah.
They're not happy.
Yeah, they're not happy.
So if you're not happy, come and go to a psychologist, go to a counselor, so that you can seek some happiness.
For a moment there, I thought you were going to say, if you're not happy and you know it, don't clap your hands. Yeah. If you're happy and you know it, if you're not happy and you know it, don't clap your hands. Yeah. But yeah, no, on that note, I've done you a favor though. Everyone, take a look at Jerry's camera, because this is going to pop up right now. There you go. I know I may have broken some Copcom rules because I didn't ask you about it, but then again, what the heck, right? I mean, it looks pretty nice there, isn't it? The clinic is called the therapy room. Okay, the contact's all there. It's very simple. Okay, you guys really want to do this? You just pause at this time. Press button, pause. Psst. Yeah, I'm not pausing now. I'm just looking as if I'm paused. Okay, okay. So just press pause, and then the numbers are there, the email's there, the address is there. There is no way you cannot contact Dr. Geraldine Tan at the therapy room.
And my team.
And her team. She's so worried because she's so overwhelmed now. It's like the beds are full. All my couches are taken up. Oh, yeah.
We don't have beds. We have
couches. Comfortable on the couch.
And not really.
But why couch, I've always wanted, before we end the show, I just want to know this. Why couch, Why, Who came up with the idea? Freud? Was it Freud?
It's supposed to be comfortable. You're supposed to lounge there and tell your story, you see.
But why a couch? It could be a chair.
Chair uncomfortable lah.
It could be a table having coffee like you and me.
So table, that's a story for another time, but very quick one.
Really, there's a story for that.
So when we have a couch, you and I have no obstacle in between. The table poses as an obstacle.
Wow.
So it's a different story for a different time.
It's like me teaching the psychology of the sale. You know, yeah. It's true. I teach that. Never do business when you sit down with a guy on a square table. Round table. It's non-intimidating. And there's a semblance of not really having a barrier.
And mine not very different.
Quite true. And then, sit the guy on your left and you sit on his right. Because when you speak to his right ear, you are speaking more to his conjuring side than his logic.
NLP.
Yeah, well, not bad. Okay. So the couch is for that. One day I need to lie down on that couch. And what happens if your patient falls asleep?
Then maybe they do really need that sleep.
And then you leave them be?
I leave them be.
Wow. I really need that couch.
No, you don't come into therapy to sleep, okay?
Why do you just put an awesome chair there, man?
No.
I tell you, get more out of the guy.
No.
Anyway, Jerry, thank you so very much for spending this hour plus with us. And it's really been nice, really.
It's so funny.
And I succeeded,
my cheek is so painful.
I've succeeded, I've only said, and it wasn't even an expletive.
No.
By the way, asshole is not an expletive.
Yeah.
It's not what?
It's not. I don't think it is.
It's not. Yeah, it's not. You had a little baby a long time ago in that movie, the talking baby. Look who's talking. And he went, hey, oh. See? Not a bad word. Yeah, hey, it's not a bad word. Yeah, for those of you old enough to remember that movie, for those of you too young, forget it. So no potty mouth today. Completely clean.
Amazing.
Absolutely. I'm about to spoil it. I'm going to fuck out right now. Okay. Thank you everyone for spending time with us. I hope you enjoyed yourself. It's been a lot of rambling today, and this only happens when Dr. Geraldine Tan is with me. Otherwise I will not ramble. Actually I do bullshit. I'll see you guys again next time. Till then, stay safe everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.